Shirley was just a young elephant when she arrived in the United States from Sumatra over 60 years ago. Like many Asian elephants of her time, she was thrust into the life of a circus performer. In photographs from the 1950s, Shirley can be seen parading with other elephants, adorned with a gilded headdress. While her circus life may not have been dignified, Shirley found solace in the company of her own kind. For 24 years, she performed with the Carson and Barnes Circus, enduring challenging circumstances. In 1958, she was among the circus animals held captive in Cuba when Fidel Castro took power. Then, in 1963, Shirley survived a harrowing ordeal when she was rescued from a burning circus ship in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, emerging unharmed. However, tragedy struck when Shirley, at the age of 28, was involved in a violent altercation with another elephant, resulting in a broken back right leg that was improperly set, causing her discomfort and pain. Additionally, she lost a significant portion of her right ear in a separate incident and suffered scarring along her back flanks and feet from a fire. Despite these injuries, Shirley was forced to continue performing with the circus for 2 more years. Eventually, deemed no longer useful due to her lame leg, she was sold to the Louisiana Purchase Gardens and Zoo in Monroe, Louisiana. At the zoo, Shirley finally found peace and a loving companion in Solomon James, who tended to her needs from the moment she arrived. Over the next 22 years, Solomon cared for Shirley diligently. However, there was a significant challenge. Due to the zoo's small size, there was no space for another elephant to keep Shirley company. Despite there being some 300 Asian elephants in North America, Shirley was among the last to live alone. To compensate, Solomon did his best to uplift Shirley's spirits. "I'll give her a little, hey," he shared in the Argo Films documentary, The Urban Elephant. "Maybe I'll give her some branches or something to play with, and I just stay in the yard with her a little bit, and that gives her some company." Sort of a slight to make her think she's not alone, that at least I'm here to be with her. Despite Solomon's efforts, Shirley's loneliness persisted. After more than 2 decades without seeing another elephant, it became clear that something needed to change. In 1999, when Shirley was 51 years old, the zoo staff decided they could no longer provide her with the best quality of life. Arrangements were made to move her to the Elephant Sanctuary, 2 states away in Hohenwald, Tennessee. When the day arrived for Shirley to make her journey, she was hesitant to step into the truck, uncertain of what awaited her at her new home. The zoo staff had to resort to using a winch while Solomon gently coaxed Shirley into the vehicle. After some persuasion, Shirley eventually boarded the truck, and they embarked on the long journey to Tennessee, traveling through the night. 14 hours later, Shirley arrived at her new home. As Shirley settled into the barn at the sanctuary, she laid eyes on Tara, the first elephant she had seen in over 20 years. In a poignant moment, the 2 elephants touched trunks, and Solomon knew his old friend would be all right. However, emotions ran high as he gave Shirley one final bath, a ritual they had shared countless times over the years, bringing tears to the zookeeper's eyes. Reflecting on Shirley's journey, Solomon confessed, "I don't know who was the first to put a chain on her, but I'm glad to know that I was the last to take it off. She's free at last." However, there was one last surprise awaiting them. Jenny, the last elephant in the herd, returned to the barn, causing a commotion and trumpeting throughout the night. By morning, staff discovered that Shirley and Jenny had bent the steel bars separating them in their eagerness to reunite. Nearly 25 years earlier, Shirley and Jenny had been part of the same circus. Now, reunited at last, the 2 elephants remained inseparable, exploring their new home with their trunks entwined side by side.